at it again, and we've got some, we'll say, news that I did not want to hear. It's unfortunate, but let's dive in.
Fox News alert: Elon Musk has officially terminated his $44 billion deal to buy Twitter. Musk reportedly saying Twitter has dramatically misrepresented the number of spam accounts on the site and that Twitter did not provide him with relevant business information he requested.
Wow. So his reasoning is basically, in short, there's a lot of bot accounts on Twitter. I think the initial reports was 5%, but then reports started coming out that it was a lot more than just 5% of the accounts on Twitter were fake accounts. And if you guys remember, when it was announced that he was purchasing Twitter and things started to get pretty serious, you started to see a dramatic shift in followers on, different social media accounts. Certain social media accounts were losing a bunch of followers. Others were gaining a bunch of followers. So it was a lot of weird stuff going on, in the background of Twitter. It was almost as if they were unbanning a bunch of accounts and terminating or trying to terminate a bunch of spam accounts, because, and this is the way it looked to me. It looked like, and I could totally be wrong, you can let me know in the comment section, but it looked to me as if there were a bunch of left-wing accounts that had inflated follower numbers. The numbers were higher than what they actually truly should have been. And there were some right-wing accounts who the followers were a lot lower than what they truly were. And so you started to see a huge gain in followers. As a matter of fact, I follow Larry Elder on Twitter. And obviously, yesterday the news was announced. Elon has terminated the deal to buy Twitter. And now all of a sudden it seems like it could possibly be happening again. The playing with the numbers in the Twitter background of things. Because Larry Elder tweeted something. He said, lost 200 more Twitter followers since yesterday. So when the news was announced, a lot of the right-wing accounts started gaining followers. And I think that was because there were some banned accounts that were being, unbanned, and they were allowed to come back onto Twitter. Now that the deal has been terminated, it almost seems as if those accounts are being terminated again. But I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. That was just something that I noticed that Larry Elder tweeted. He said that he lost 200 more followers since yesterday, which is just weird. Just 200 people just drop off. I mean, maybe. It's possible. They heard the news and, all right, yeah, I'm getting out of here. I didn't really like Twitter anyway. I was just hoping Elon purchased it, but now that he's not purchasing it, I'm out of here. Maybe. But y'all let me know in the comment section. Let's continue on.
So, Jessica, you've thought this was a big troll from the beginning. Have you been vindicated?
I hope so. I think so. I hope you guys agree as well. Overall, it seems like no one wants Twitter, and that Elon Musk, wanted to get into the conversation about this. He probably at one point wanted it, but then when he saw what happened to Tesla on the other side, he was like, well, this is actually a lot more valuable than owning the public square, as it were. This waiving due diligence and then not getting the information that you wanted when you waived the diligence in the first place rings a little hollow to me. And I think he's just had several weeks, months now of bad press, and is just going to skulk away from all of this and go back to building rockets and cool cars.
So, Greg, are the people at Twitter headquarters crying for joy today instead of in sadness when
Not
they heard
really.
it the first time?
Think of the reason why Musk is the richest person on earth is he finds more than one way to win. Do you know what I mean? So he buys Twitter, he wins. He doesn't buy Twitter, he still won because he did a number of things. He exposed some of the hugest fallacies about Twitter being fair or Twitter being free. He's an engineer. He went in, he kicked the tires, he looked under the hood, and he let everybody else take a look at it at the same time. So he got in, he basically, he was a bull in a china shop, but he was an engineer in a china shop, and he showed what's in there and what's broken. So I think, you know what? I don't know. I'm kind of sad because it would have been fun, but at the same time, I learned a lot, I hope we can still be friends.
To judge the...
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of agree with that. I am a bit sad. And, I said that at the beginning. It's news that I definitely did not want to hear. I thought it would have been fun to have Elon own Twitter, and I think it would have become a great platform under Elon's ownership. Could I have been wrong? Of course. Of course I could have been wrong. I could be wrong on anything. But my belief is that it would have become a great platform of free speech and just just overall a better run platform. Since the announcement, Twitter's stock has begun to plummet. It was already down, obviously, just because of everything going on, but it's begun to plummet. And I'm just interested to see how far it actually goes down after this breaking news. So I'll be keeping an eye on it. If anything dramatic happens, and obviously I'll be making a video on it. So we'll see how far it tanks. But let's continue on.
Market is closed right now, but do you think that this will tank Twitter's
Yeah.
stock
and I
on
already touched
Monday?
on it.
Yeah, I really do. And I'm disappointed like Greg. I really am. I like the idea of someone coming in and talking about free speech and telling people, you're not going to have a crying room anymore, and someone who was pro First Amendment, but we knew, I think a month ago, I think more than a month ago, that there was an issue as to the bots and the spam and all that stuff. Is it greater than 5%? And it appeared that Twitter was not willing to identify or give him the information that he needed. And so, as Greg said, the analogy looked under the hood, but I don't know if they allowed him to really look under the hood. So the question is he being sanctioned now? Does he lose money? Was there a penalty in there, an automatic one, if he doesn't go forward?
There was.
So why are you showing me that stuff,
These are the
Greg?
questions for fan mail.
Okay, Joey, your thoughts about Musk.
talking.
Hey, listen.
Twitter really works.
To answer her question, there was a termination kind of clause in there. If Twitter terminated it, then Twitter owed Elon $1 billion. If Elon terminated it, then Elon owes Twitter $1 billion, which is just absolutely insane. $1 billion termination fee. Whew. My goodness. But yes, I think Elon is going to try to get around that. But from what I've heard, Twitter is taking this to court, which is kind of weird. Because when all this news broke, it seemed as if Twitter and its employees did not want Elon to purchase it. Everybody was going crazy over there from the reports that we heard. People crying and losing their minds, people being super sad and all of this stuff. And now they're taking him to court, basically trying to force him to purchase it anyway. So what I hope comes out of this is that there's more transparency on what is actually going on. When they take this to court, we are actually able to truly look under the hood. I know there are reports of spam bots, but we don't know the exact number of spam bots unless you guys have heard about any exact numbers. I haven't, but apparently it's a lot higher than what was it was perceived to be in the beginning. So that's a huge problem. And obviously we see the censorship and the uneven promotion and demotion of Twitter posts and things like that. The proverbial turn the knob up on one Twitter post and turn it down on another, on some other Twitter post. We know that now, but to what extent is that happening, and to what extent are the spam bots covering Twitter? But what do you guys hope happens out of all of this that is going on right now with Twitter and Elon? Talk to me in the comment section.
Worth anything is the question.
Don't put your faith in anyone. Not a billionaire, not a politician. People don't come in and just save the day like that. The big thing for me that always smelled fishy about this is that he cozied up to Jack.
Yeah.
And even the rhetoric coming from Jack. So it's like, did he think he had some inside information and he thought it was calculated, and now that's not going to work? I don't know. It's all speculation.
Well,
She's throwing things at me.
Greg Gutfeld over here.
She's throwing stuff at me.
So to wrap this thing up, I just came across another article as well. It says almost half of President Joe Biden's current 22 million followers on Twitter are fake. Almost half. So if that's an indication of how terrible Twitter actually is, then oh my goodness, I don't blame Elon for trying to back out of this deal. Half of the people on Twitter are fake accounts. Wow. At least on the left-wing Twitter accounts, or the followers. It says SparkToro's tool found that 49.3% of accounts following the official POTUS Twitter account are fake followers based on analysis. 49%, almost 50% of followers on some of these left-wing Twitter accounts are fake. Is that what that is saying? Because once again, and I'm not saying that to create a fight between the left and the right, but I'm saying that because of what we saw at the beginning, of this Twitter purchase situation. You saw a drop off of accounts on left-wing accounts and an increase on right-wing accounts. So that was a little weird. And it just told me that, once again, people were getting banned, right-wing people were getting banned, left-wing people aren't as prevalent on social media sites as what they would like it to seem. And so they were terminating a bunch of spam accounts trying to get the number down so it wasn't as obvious, but it was obvious because everyone was watching the follower number tank on those accounts and the follower number skyrocket on other accounts. So that is why I say, so half of followers on these left-wing accounts are fake, which is an extremely high number. So really his account, I want to see what does his account show right now. So President Joe Biden's Twitter account is currently sitting at almost 24 million followers. It's 23.7 million followers. So almost half of those are fake accounts. So in reality, it should be closer to 12 million than 24. Insane, and a huge difference. So, like I said, after all, I can't really be too angry at Elon for trying to back out of it. I am a little upset because, like I said, for selfish reasons, I would have loved to have had a platform that was truly free speech and, had a free flow of information and ideas. And honestly, Twitter kind of sucks as it currently is. It's not a very great platform. I mean, of course I use it, but it's not like the greatest ever. But also, it raises another question, and I kind of posed it earlier. How many spam accounts are on Instagram? What would you guys guess? Would you think that it was worse than Twitter? I think the bot issue is a decently sized issue on Instagram. I don't know if it's as prevalent on Instagram as Twitter, but it's definitely there on Instagram for sure. And it's right there in your face. And Instagram, for some reason, hasn't done anything about it, which is kind of weird, too. But like I said, what do you guys think? Is it 50% on Instagram? 20%? 5%? Talk to me. And also, what do you think about this whole Twitter situation? Do you guys hope that Elon is forced to purchase it in the end, just at a lower purchase price? Or do you just not care at all? Talk to me in the comment section below. And what is your favorite social media platform currently that you are using? Let me know. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Peace and love. I'm out.